my name is Lindsay Arriaga, and I will be talking about ancient Greece pottery. So you guys could get an understanding of pottery from ancient Greece, how it was made when it first evolved, and the many different designs on them. Do you wonder why stories are told on pottery in Greece? Many stories back then were told throughout the years between the Gauls, Amazonians, and the many wars fought in ancient Greece. Pottery played a big role back then because artists who made pottery would paint the stories back then of the wars fought and the battles won to show and bring those stories to life. An example of ancient Greece pottery is a vase called the Franchosis vase, which is a volute crater made by and created by Ergotomus and painted by Caletius, which covers the vase in animals and humans drawings, showing stories of the animals and people back then on the vase, which looks like this. It might not be a clear picture, but you can see the animals there. You can see the animals there. You can see the people at the top and the detail on the side. Ancient Greece pottery represents the stories told of the Mycenaean people and their identity. Ancient Greek pottery was a vase designed for many uses back then. It was first made around 1000 BCE. It was used for many purposes, as in decoration, drinking, serving, and as perfume containers. As it is now admired in museums, as it gives us an insight of the beliefs and practices of the Greek culture, and also made for different purposes here as well. So what I mean by it was made for decoration, as now back then they used not only pottery for liquids, storing foods. They would also use it as vases for flowers, vases to look pretty on the table, just like how we do now. History of ancient Greek pottery. It is used for storytelling. So the way it was made with secondary clay, which was from the rain and river. So we used natural resources from back then. Well, back then they would use natural resources to make pottery. The stories told and painted on the vase gave us a look into their past and what happened to them. It was created not only for mixing, serving, and drinking, but also tell mythological stories and about the gods and wars. So in every pottery from ancient Greece, we would see a story of either somebody fighting or just people with their animals. So they were telling a story by painting what was happening during that time period. There are different styles of pottery, such as proto-geometric pottery and red figure pottery, which are styled and painted differently. So red figure pottery looks a little bit like this. It's more vibrant and you can see more in detail, but it looks just like this. So, ancient Greek pottery was famous because of its styles and mostly used because it came from Mycenaean culture. It was also made, like how I said, the Mycenaean culture, and the Mycenaean culture first created pottery in 1600 BC. It was important to them because it was a way of them being able to store liquids and food. It was also a form of trade for them. So not only would they use these vases for different foods, for cooking food, but for liquids, but they would trade with different cities and different villages. So that's how pottery became more and more known out there, because it was being traded. Greek pottery is an important aspect of the culture because it documents many aspects of life, culture, and how life was in Athens. It was important because a lot of pottery made had paintings on them to show and tell stories of what happened in ancient Greece. Like how I said, it was also used to store things because there were different sizes of pottery made back in ancient Greece for many different purposes. Not only was it used for storytelling of the past, but shows record of the first human civilization to show how we have developed by creating from natural resources to become stable. They would make big and small pots, for example, mixing vessel, which was made as a large bowl with no handles and mainly used for drinking parties, which also included craters and diners. Why is ancient Greek pottery important to me? It is important to me because of how fascinating human civilization has come from back then. to now. We've created cups, big bowls, and even pots, etc. to cook and serve, and now we still do, just differently on the materials we use and how far we've come, because it shows the evolution of human life, of human creation. So in conclusion, ancient pottery was good.